righty. Welcome back to the show. It's down for the count. I always have Alexis and Nicole with me. Janae is out, but whenever she comes back, she'll be back in full force. She is doing okay, by the way. I did talk to her yesterday, so she is okay. She's doing fine. She's just getting herself together. So say hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
So today we are going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about Mania. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. We are going to talk about Bailey, Becky Lynch, Karrion Cross, and we're also going to talk about Mariah May. First things first is
Oh,
Mariah
before
May.
we get started with Mariah, which is just wanted to say, R.I.P. Trey, love you, miss you, but I won't do too much since you'd be mad about it.
Yes. Um, all I can say about Trey is that I miss him so much. So I know
I
he wouldn't care about the sentimental stuff, but I really do miss him.
I keep sending his account like stupid memes that I knew he would like be laugh he would have laughed at, like anything related to like Jeff Hardy's little dancey dance that he does instead of saving somebody. Um, I miss his laugh. Like when I go back and I hear like him on our old episodes and him laughing. Miss you,
Yeah.
Trey.
Um, I did tell Midwest Melon Mafia we are going to get together, and we're going to do what we always do. But I did tell them that we're going to make sure we keep Trey's legacy going. Everybody's going to work hard to make sure it keeps going. Nicole is still doing that with Lovely, and of course his son, and everybody is still working and doing everything to make sure everything is going like it should. And we're not gonna let anything that he created just go down. So no matter what, he's always gonna be here with us, and we love him and we miss him. So on that note, I'm gonna give the girlies 30 seconds to kind of regroup, and then we'll get back and we'll start off with Mariah May. So just hold tight, everybody. Just hold tight. Alrighty, everybody good?
Yep.
Good.
Okay. I just want to make sure I gave them a little bit of time because it was a rough conversation, and I know it was really hard on Nicole and Alexis. So we need a little bit of time to just get ourselves together, and then we can deep dive into everything. So there are a few things that have happened in the wrestling world this week, okay, and last week, which I didn't really get to talk about when it came to AEW, but since we're talking about it, we're going to start with Mariah May, and then we'll pivot a little bit to Josh Alexander just for a tad, and then we'll move into WWE stuff. So, for the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months, since Mariah May had that really emotional, massive match with Tony Storm, the question had been asked if she's going to stay with AEW or if she's going to leave. Now, I had heard rumors about Mariah May and how she was not exactly in favor in the back, because the rumor is that she was back there bragging about her being able to leave, go to WWE, the kind of money she was going to make, and blah blah blah. Um, I don't know if I really believe that aspect of it, but I do think she may have been excited about some of the offers that she was getting, and she was fielding those offers, if that makes sense. Okay, so That was during that time. And then things started to die down and it got a little quiet. All of a sudden, a few weeks ago, the rumor mill started to bring back up about Mariah May possibly not re signing with AEW and that she had already signed her WWE contract. Now, this week, it comes out that AEW did offer her a contract and she refused. She did not resign with AEW. The question has now become, what does all that mean? Okay. Now, this is Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report has um, the story on some of the AEW rumors, as well as some WWE stuff, but we're going to stick with AEW. It says, um, Mariah May's contract has become one of the most sought after things that everybody's looking for. They're looking to see what the update is on her contract, if she is going to resign or if she has decided to leave AEW. Okay. So, according to Bleacher Report, it says Mariah was one of the breakout stars in professional wrestling, thanks to one of the best and most thorough storylines in AEW history with timeless Tony Storm. According to Fightful Select, it says that she recently reported that Mariah May is in her contract year and expected to get interest from virtually anywhere she wants to go. Wrestling Observer noted that people close to her believe WWE has always been the goal, and people in AEW expect her to go to WWE. While there are some believe that Fightful has spoken to sources since the start of this report, and they claim she's being wise and maximizing her leverage and negotiating power. Okay. Now it says, regardless of whether WWE has always been her target, she's using that as a negotiation tactic. May is set to be rewarded for her work with a deal that will make her one of the highest paid wrestlers in any women's division, something she has earned based on what she's accomplished with Tony Storm. If WWE does take the 26-year-old, it will be interesting to see how she is introduced, which competitors she is programmed against initially, and if she finds the immediate success she did in AEW. So essentially, what they're telling us is that Mariah May is doing what any other superstar would do. She is utilizing her fame and everything that she has done over the past year to negotiate a better contract either with AEW or with WWE. She wants to get the best, and either way, no matter what company she signs with, she more than likely will end up with the biggest contract for a woman in the women's division, no matter where she signs. So, Nicole, this is your girl, so you go first.
Sorry, I'm mid chew. I love this for her. I absolutely love this, love this, love this for her. I'm one of the people where if she if she stayed in AEW, I would have understand that. I would have been like, you know what, that makes sense or what. Like, I wasn't one of those people who were like, she immediately needs to go to WWE. I was like, I'm going with her being there like another like 2 to 3 years, flush things out. She wants to win the TBS championship. Hopefully, sometime by then, there's some type of like women's tag belt or some shit.
Right.
You know, something, really like fill out the division and look for like the next hers and her building shit up with like Willow because I feel like they could have like a really good program and all sorts of shit. And so I'm like, so is that where she's going? Happy for her, 100% happy for her. If she's just doing it just to get more money out of Tony Khan, I love it. Do more of it. So either way, it's a win-win for me because it's like I'm a still watcher, so it don't matter.
Right?
So either way, but whoever she can drain, whose ever pocket she can drain the most, honestly, just go there. To be honest,
Right.
because regardless if you're still in AEW, we know that you can make a division that's not given much really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you don't like so like you're still going to be the most talked about. So it don't matter really if you think about it.
Well, Alexis, what do you think? Where do you think she should go?
Um, Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't really big high up on Mariah May. I know Nicole's gonna probably like stab me later. Because I thought I was just like, whatever. Because be blunt, it's the W women's locker room. They show people who shouldn't be shown, and they're showing the people who should be, who shouldn't. Like that. You know what I'm trying to say. Um, I'm happy for either way. Like Nicole, go where you can get the most money out of, but go where of course you want to be at. Um, Tony Khan was probably already throwing fits this weekend due to Mania anyway. Um, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it right now. If she comes to WWE, give that girl time, and she will eclipse Tiffany Stratton. She will eclipse her, and Tiffany will be up for like a second thought. Mariah can wrestle. She has a look. She can do a heel. She can do a face. Like I'm saying her, and in a couple of years, Harley Cameron's going to show up in NXT. So if she goes to
Oh,
WWE,
100% Harley Cameron, because she got a lot of friends over there. Like, she's really
yeah.
good friends with Shotzi. She's really good friends with Scarlett. Like,
So like I'll be happy for her either way. So as long as she gets paid for what she is deserved plus tax, I'm happy for her, and just wish her the best.
I want her to stay in AEW. And
Really?
I do. I have, and I'm gonna get into it later about WWE. But while I know that she would probably make that work in her favor, and Mariah's not gonna settle for being in the back, and that's fine. I think that AEW is a place where she most definitely can thrive. And like Nicole said, that mid card division, she could really bolster that TBS championship, and it would be a lot bigger than what you have going on with Mercedes at the moment. Um, I feel like that locker, but if the locker room isn't for her, if what we hear is true, which we tend to take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt, right? But if what we're hearing is true, then going to WWE wouldn't be a bad look for her. However, I want her to get the same treatment. I want full on star treatment. If that's how you're going to do it, you're going to bring her over here because you can't have a talent like her come.
you gotta treat her like Penta. You gotta treat her.
Like Penta. That's the only good one they got right now.
You can't have her.
No, I mean, we're just getting like an influx of AEW people.
Yeah,
Like we're
yeah,
just now we're really getting, because at first, because who did we have? It was literally just Cody,
it was.
and then everyone knew Jade's ass was gonna go there eventually. So
Yeah.
those don't count.
So you
Everybody
thought
else
like
is
the
this.
people like right now we ended up getting like Ricky Saints, and then you're getting
We
uh
got Ricky Saints, Penta, Ray Phoenix,
Rusev.
Rusev, Ethan Page,
Yeah. Which
Lexis
they
King,
and they all came over slow. It wasn't like they all came in one
Sean
time.
Spears.
Right.
Who else am I missing? Did I say Jade?
Yeah, you
No,
said
Jade
Jay.
was earlier.
Oh,
I
by the
feel
way,
like I'm missing
NXT is
somebody.
on while we're recording this. So we are more than likely going to be
Hello.
Hello?
Went dark. I went that for a second.
Yeah, that was so weird.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like, we're starting to see the people who, like,
Alistair.
Alistair's coming back, I'm telling you.
What else spooky shit is that for?
He's just being real shady about it because I thought he was going to pop up last night. Kind of wish he did.
I'm just glad it was Randy.
Yeah.
I was like, this makes sense. This is good.
That's some 2009 Orton shit right there.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All I was saying was NXT is on, so we're gonna be watching NXT, and it's gonna. You might hear somebody say something because we're watching NXT. Does that make sense? Just so everybody knows.
I know. I give Liv and Raquel the business, but I know them hoes is tired. They wrestled a match at WrestleMania on Raw, and now
and
they're
now
on
they on
NXT.
NXT.
I'd be pissed.
Well, they could have just left. Never mind. We'll get into it in a minute.
We'll get to that. We're going to get to that.
Yeah, because this isn't right. Like, I don't like that. And they had them do that Raggedy Club appearance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A female Leatherface cosplay.
All right. So Josh Alexander debuted in AEW. He debuted and he is now a member of the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
I'm actually a fan of this decision, surprisingly.
I don't know how to feel about it because I didn't watch it. I didn't see it.
It was pretty good actually, and I'm mad about it.
I heard about it and I was like, huh, Don Callis, really? I'm not a fan of Don Callis, so I don't like him.
I don't like his ass either. But it was
Josh
good.
being a heel instead of being a face going into AEW is interesting to me. I think that was a better call.
If it gets Josh on TV, then I'll suck it up for a little bit.
They said it wasn't bad. I mean, they just.
We lost her again.
Tiff.
AEW, we talking shit again.
It had to be. That was a really good sunset from Tatum.
We hear you now, Tiff.
Yeah, I can tell. Just give me a second. I gotta switch to Wi-Fi. So hold tight, y'all. We'll be right back. I just gotta switch to Wi-Fi really quickly. On. Hopefully it is, and it won't give me no more hell.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So we had a nice debut from Josh Alexander. Mariah May is weighing all of her options, and I just hope that whatever decision she makes, if she comes to the E, they use her wisely and correctly. Okay. Now, personally, if she goes over to the E, see, I would put her in NXT first because
Mariah, I feel like they're gonna need her.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them girls gotta go. Like I've been hearing Lash and Jakar are probably gonna go. Lash and Jakar are probably gonna go up.
And they need to go.
They need to go. Roxanne needs to go.
Yeah.
Honestly, JC Jane low key needs to go.
No, dead ass.
They can probably. Honestly, I would send Fallon up too. But I would separate them. They gotta go on different shows.
They need to do something because that roster is getting to be like, oh, we're trying to make
There's
it a
almost
third.
two. There's too much. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
They gotta go. Low key. They could low key send Jada Parker up.
No, that.
I know she's a little green. That's fine. They got BFAB that's up there who's been working hard. You can have her go back and forth with BFAB so they can, help each other out. They can do a series together. And that clears up all those spots. Cora Jade, no, Cora Jade needs to be down there for a little bit so she could be the OG. Jordan, I would keep Jordan there until SummerSlam.
You know what? I don't have a problem with that.
I would keep Jordan down there till SummerSlam. Then SummerSlam, we're getting you out. Like I'm having her walk out at the end of a match with somebody at SummerSlam. That's what we're doing with her. Um, so we got Jordan taken care of. Stephanie don't matter right now because she's the women's champion. Soul Zarya, they like Zarya just Kalani needs to be there for a little bit. Zarya just got there. Julia just got there. Even though she wants to go up, I would hold her for a minute.
Yeah.
I would let her do a heel turn down here, and I would still have her come up as a heel. So I would
Hmm.
just yes, I would turn her here. I would keep her heel for a minute, and then whenever I gotta fill up a spot, then that's how I'll pull her up. Wherever I need a spot with the heel, then that's when I'll pull her up. So she's like on a waiting list. Um, Kalani, and like I said, Kalani got to be down there. Soul got to be down there, and then that Jasmine girl obviously needs to be down there, and obviously Thea still needs to be there, and
Lola,
then
you got
Lola
Lola.
and then other than that, that's it. That's not that many people left. So yes, I would have Mariah go there, and she can either you can have her take that belt off of Soul. Not
I
right
mean, you
away
got
though.
plenty of
Not
people to take them spots. You got Callie down there.
yeah.
The Evolve girls will be moved up that are prepared to go. Danny
Yeah.
Palmer. You've got that one girl. What is that other girl that's down there in Evolve? Like, cause they're that space. They got a space. They got plenty of space they can move into with these Evolve people to bring
Yeah.
them in.
I would keep them Evolve people on Evolve for a hot minute. Like I'm not scrambling nobody for another year. The only people that I would call up maybe sometime soon from Evolve is Swipe Right. Other than that, everybody else should be down there for a
Ew,
little
I
bit.
don't like them. I
I
don't
love
like
it.
them. I don't.
It's so disgusting,
I
but I
don't
get it.
like them.
But yeah, those are the only people. Everyone else, I would keep them there for a while, a very, very good minute. Um, but yeah, I would have Mariah win that belt off of Soul, and she has it for a little bit, has a a couple feuds, drops it to I don't know Gigi, drops it to Gigi Dolan or somebody like that, Gigi or Tatum,
Yeah, I would only keep Gigi down there for a little bit too, honestly.
because I want her, even though the Spooky Girl tag team
It's cute.
scares me. No, like their um their expiration date would scare me with Hunter because I don't trust him. Um,
Of course not.
but I would want to bring them up together though. If these bitches lose these titles, I'm gonna be so angry. We have no
I
idea
think
how mad I'll
They
be.
need to lose them. I'm sorry.
They need to, and it's not even, and it low key does has nothing to do with Raquel and Liv. Surprisingly, it's just how they book them.
let's just jump into Mania because a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about here from here on out is going to be based around the pageantry and the bullshittery of WrestleMania in the Fallout show from Monday night. So let's just jump into that. Unless there's anything else.
No, I'm pretty good. Tiff.
Did we lose Tip again?
Feel like
Tiffany?
it.
All right, well, she'll jump back in. So, WrestleMania was this weekend. Finally, after how many years, Nicole?
Oh my god,
uh,
forever.
our girl Nicole finally went to WrestleMania. Very happy
Exp-
for her.
expensive ass Vegas.
For what? How? I want to know how expensive was the beer?
I did not. So surprisingly, I only drank one of the days we were out.
Hmm.
Yeah, I only drank one of the days that we were out. And that was the day of Wale Mania. Actually got a beer at a place we got lunch at on Thursday, and it surprisingly also was happy hour, so like whatever, but I think it was like $6. And then after that I drank mixed drinks, and that was very expensive, let me fucking tell you. Um and also, we went to, so we did a lot, like walked around, blah blah, ran all over the place, and then went to Wally Mania. The amount of money I spent there was disgusting, and never want to speak about it ever again. Um because at the Hollywood Bowl, because you get like regular size, and then they had like talls or doubles. So I was like, I'm just gonna get doubles so I don't have to walk back and forth to the damn bar.
Makes sense.
And doubles was expensive. And then I bought like a couple people drinks, and which I was like cool, because that's especially like I'm like just meeting you, or like or just like say appreciation or whatever. Like I'm like, that's how I am. Like I was like, especially we're out like setting like that. Like, okay, like let me get your drink, like blah blah, or whatever, whatever. Like that's just how I am. So that happened like quite a bit. And it was just like good. It was good vibes. It was a great party. It's unfortunate that it's quote unquote the last year. I hope some resolution comes from it. But yeah, it was just good vibes. Them people at the Hollywood Bowl was no jokes. As soon as it was the end time, they turned on the lights, they shut the music off, literally turned all the lights on, was like, okay, you guys can go now. And we're like, oh,
Like you don't have to go
okay.
here, kind of thing.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, you just gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, all right, you guys, come on, get the fuck out of here. Um, but it was cool. Friday afternoon didn't do much. We just like got something to eat, just chill, like literally just chilled, like went shopping. I forgot what else we did on Friday. We just like walked around the strip and stuff like that. Oh, we went to like WWE World and stuff like that. And then went to go see, if I found something I really liked. I got one of my friends, I got him two shirts. And then we like went to, oh, and then earlier in the day we went to the Fourth Rope um pop-up shop that was at Palms, and it was really dope. Like Fourth Rope has really great merch. So, and then later, and then also to and then I think, and we also bought our tickets for the show then too. So, and then we came back. Fourth Rope had a show that was supposed to start at midnight, or not start at midnight, start around 12:30. Show ended around, I think, like 4:30 something.
How are they expecting y'all to keep going through all this shit?
Oh my gosh. I mean, and also they were like, they did really good. Like MVP like came out, and like Westside came out, and they were just like, they were like, thank you guys. They were like, really, really thank you guys for like hanging in there and blah blah. They were like, trying to keep the crowd going. And then that one, the dude who's the ring announcer at AEW, who used to ring announce for WWE, what's his fucking name?
Oh, Justin Roberts.
Yeah, Justin Roberts was there. He like guest announced, quote unquote, a couple times, and then he was just out there for the rest of the pay-per-view. Um what else? The Hardys had an open invitational, and they end up wrestling Devon's sons, which was cool. Alexis Littlefoot had a tag team match. It was her and Masha, versus Hollywood whatever girl and Vix Crow. Um Gosh, there was just so much. There was so much going on. Like I felt like I was there for so long. It was a good show, but I felt like very, very long. Um, but it was good. The main event was Zilla Fatu versus Roy King for the fourth rope championship,
Mhm.
and it was pretty good. Also there's a battle royal to crown. I can't. Why am I blanking on the name of the belt? But it's sick. Like it looks like an updated version of Ted DiBiase's belt.
$1 million.
Yeah, I forgot what the. I'm so mad. I forgot what that belt looks like. And then also went to the Shea show on Thursday afternoon. That was fantastic. We unfortunately again weren't like cognizant of the time, and we were like, oh shit, the show started already, so we like booked it. But it was so good, like especially like the women's match killed it. Like it was like Kira Hogan's first match back from being like injured for so long. um Shug and JTG literally beat the shit out of each other. um and
Of
then
like
you
it like punched a tooth out of his mouth.
I thought it was a tooth, but apparently it was just it was one of Shug's hair beads, which I was like, thank goodness, because the way like I was like, we were like, whoa, what was that? So a show which is all around was good. They also Jazz along with Faye introduced the um Ashay Women's Championship belt, and they're going to be starting a tournament to crown the first champion. I'm very happy, very excited. The belt is absolutely beautiful. And then we are going to get um Darius Carter versus the Revolution. Darius for the next Ashe show for the Ashe Men's or Championship.
Nice.
And then what else do we do? Didn't unfortunately go to. I was really wanting to go to Stand Deliver, but since not the Ashay show, since the fourth rope show got out so late, and I was just like, and also like the time difference wasn't really agreeing with me well, and I was just like not doing well. So I was just like, I need to sleep. And especially the turnaround between Stand and Deliver and by the time you need to start heading towards the stadium, especially where I was staying at, like I needed a bigger window,
Right.
because by the time Stand and Deliver ended, I needed to start leaving my Airbnb.
Yeah, because like I was looking at the schedule of it. This was like a couple of months beforehand just to see what all the events were going to be and stuff. And it's like, didn't it start like Monday, like that week, and went all the way to like Sunday, like at midnight or something like that?
What did?
Like the whole like WrestleMania week.
Honestly, probably.
That's a lot. Well, did you have fun though?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm unfortunately, I just the good thing is like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do and not do next year. Leaving the stadium, especially Ubers in Vegas were atrocious. I'm not even kidding. I know I at least spent $300 on Ubers, and I'm not even exaggerating.
Just the Ubers alone?
Yes, just on Ubers alone. They were real cheap. Like the first day we were there, like that Thursday. Not bad at all. Like when I got, well, where Britt was staying at from the airport, it wasn't that far anyways, but um it was, but again, like when we went back and forth to like our Airbnb and stuff like that, it wasn't that stressful. But Friday, Saturday, bye, a nightmare. Anyways, so we do that. So just leaving the stadium was like a nightmare, like, and just having to wait for an Uber, let alone pay. I was being very, very cheap, so I did the wait and save, which I'm glad that I did because it literally saved, like, it was still expensive. It was like, I think it was like 30 something, but compared to like a fucking 80 or 80 something, 90 something dollars, and I guess I had to like wait for an hour, I will fucking take it.
Right. Like, oh,
And the one thing that pissed me off is like all these drive and like all there was so many, because obviously and also Uber and Lyft are very zoned in Vegas. So when you go to like so almost everywhere you go, this is like hotels, whatever, you name it. I think except for obviously like, like businesses like a restaurant or whatever, but anything like that, like Ubers can only pick you up in certain places and it can only drop you off in certain places. And I think it's also, and I think New York does this so because obviously like before Uber shit like that, obviously Vegas is a heavy cab business. So I think obviously so they can still take care of like the cabs and stuff like that so they can be like more upfront and yada 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 and all that shit. But yeah, and it was just like that, and it was like, okay, so you're in Caesar's Palace, but you have to go all the way to fucking North Tower to get picked up from the Uber, and it was a lot of walking. I took some really great shoes, and hindsight, I'm glad it worked out like that because I originally wasn't even gonna take them,
oh no.
but I was going to wear my one like Vans, and then just because like I knew that I was like going back and forth to the airport, but then I was like, oh, well, these shoes are kind of ugly because I was just gonna bring my heels and I was gonna try to wear those shoes and then bring my one Adidas, but then I had no room for who is this? Oh my
What
God.
is this?
I'm bye. So I had like no room in like any of my luggage for it. And so I was like,
Really?
you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna wear the Adidas shoes because that was gonna be like my everyday shoe anyways, essentially. But then I was like, hey, I could still use my Vans as my everyday shoes. But then I was like, last minute, and then my ride that was taking me to the airport was here. So I was like, fuck it. And I put those shoes on. Those shoes, my feet did not hurt the entire weekend. And I walked a lot.
Huh?
I walked a lot. The Shea show, because it was so fucking packed, I stood up. So for almost that entire show. So I want to say like maybe like an hour and like 30 something minutes of that show, I was standing up. Like,
Damn.
so
Oh,
like I said, it's like I did like a lot of walking, a lot of standing. Fine.
Damn. You got lucky, man.
Yeah, so and that was good, and like Mania itself was like fun. I went on Saturday. In hindsight, if I didn't have to like do that pop up at my job, I would, I think I was originally gonna stay till Sunday at least. Or no, I was gonna stay for, yes, I was gonna stay for Sunday and then fly out Monday. But unfortunately, I flew out on Sunday instead. Which I'm also really mad about because night two was so much better in my opinion than night one.
Yeah.
And then literally like my friends like in real life, because they were a lot like my friends that like live here, like they're watching the show like while I was at it on Saturday, and they were like, and we were like going Snapchatting like back and forth. And then on Sunday, like in our like one group text, like they were texting me, they were like, bro, Nicole, you should have went today. And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Let's
And
talk
then
about it.
and then like something else happened. They're like, bro, why didn't you go today? And I was like, I didn't know. I'm
Uh,
pissed. I'm fucking. You know what? We're just gonna go into it. I'm so fucking mad. I want my money back, Hunter, because that is fucking crazy.
okay, let's slow down for a sec. Tiff's back. We just wanted to hear about your lovely trip to Vegas first.
I want my money back.
Dude, I'm just happy, and I think I can speak for me and Tiff and majority of everybody that we are just happy that you could finally go to a fucking Mania this year. Like, just so you can finally fucking go.
I know.
Um, but let's just talk about WrestleMania because a lot of things that we're going to talk about for the rest of the show ties back to this. Um, I'm going to say this, and it might piss a lot of people off, but fuck it. I agree with Nicole. Night one was not a good night. It was not. It wasn't. It didn't have the hype factor. Like that's no shade to Jay Uso because him and Gunther's match was first, and I'm glad Jay won, and he's the heavyweight champion now.
That match wasn't that good though.
And that was the thing, and then that's like I'm not trying to make excuses of it, but like both men are good wrestlers. The problem is they're good wrestlers, but they don't mesh with each other's style.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like at all.
Yeah, they don't wrestle good together.
So they got the title off of Gunther. That's the thing. People are already turning on Jay, which
They've been turning on Jay.
I'm not surprised at like at fucking all. But they were probably in Vegas sitting there doing yeets when he came out.
This
So
drunk motherfucker. And I'm gonna be really quick with the story. I told the chat this story. So when I get to my seat, there's this man with his son, and then behind me there's like a bunch of gay dudes, and then there's a bunch of country people from like Arkansas. And so I sit in my seat, blah blah. These two guys with these beers come down, and they are like looking around, and they're like, "Is someone sitting here?" I was like, "Is this your seat? Do you have a ticket?" And then he's like, didn't really say much. Was like, ha ha. And then I can, so he sits down. And when you sit down, you already know someone who's by you is going to get on your last fucking nerve.
Yep.
yeah, yeah, I
He
could have.
was just so obnoxious. Like, he smelled like old beer. Like, he was just doing the absolute most. And then he was just like being like all over the place, like just like obnoxious, like not even like just being like a fan or something. Because I want to be like, oh, well, like you make it. No, he was just being like obnoxious. And then so like Jay comes, obviously like Jay Gunther, and he's like thinks he's so cool because he's like the only one who's like cheer for Gunther. He's like, yeah, Gunther, you're a real wrestler. And I can tell he's like some dumb like casual fuck who like thinks he knows, like who's like trying to like. And then I could tell his like dummy friend who came with him knows nothing about wrestling, and he's like trying to act like he like is just explaining shit to him. So he's doing that, and then he's like booing, trying to boo the fuck out, like this is before like Jake came out, and then when everyone was eating, he was doing the fucking arm thing too. He's like, I'm stupid, and I'm like, and they're just like so fucking annoying. And then he was like, I'm rooting for Gunther. And he was like, and he turned to like me and like that guy, the guy with the son. He's like, you're rooting for Jay. We're like, yep. He's like, you're rooting for the wrong guy. I was like, I really don't think so. You do you, pal. And then he said something else, and I was just like looked at him. And so after that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, gonna go check out the food situation. um got a hot dog. I used the bathroom, got a hot dog, came back, it was these two other guys that were there, and then the dad was like, bro, he was like, he was like, they were in the right seats, and I was like, I fucking knew it. And then he was like, yeah, he's like, and then the two guys who were had whose seats actually were very nice guys, are Australian. It was their first Mania. And they were like, yeah, they're like, we came over and he were like, yeah, you're in our seats. And the guy was trying to be like, oh no, these are our seats. And he was like, no, this is my fucking ticket. You're in my seat. So he went and got like one of the workers, and then she's like, get up, this isn't your seat. And then the obnoxious guy was like telling him like, you ruined my Mania, you suck. And then the guy was like, you're in my seat.
I paid for this shit. Like, what were you saying? How much was the floor seats at Mania this year?
About over a grand.
Yeah, no, you're fucking moving. Get the fuck out of my chair.
My seat in the 300s was over $300.
Just for a 300 seat?
Mm-hmm. But Legion is fucking big, and they have 400, so. But still. It was 300s. Surprisingly, my angle wasn't bad. I just wish I was maybe a little bit more towards the right. Honestly, maybe 2 sections over, and I would have been straight. It was like 2 sections over, but they didn't have any over in that area. But they did, I would have sat over there.
Uh, I will agree with you though. WrestleMania the first night, I wasn't a big fan about it. None of the matches were really hitting. Um, you like I was psyched when we talked about Jacob and LA Knight facing off,
That
and
match was good.
it was good, but I wasn't like as hyped for it like I should have been, which makes me sound like a really bad Jacob Fatu fangirl. I'm sorry, Jacob. Um, but yeah, it was just I don't know. The first night just didn't hit with me, but night two, bringing the women straight out of the gate, that
No
shit
one.
got me hyped for the whole damn night. Like I don't understand why they just do this with the women in the first night, but we'll get into that. But I would say night two was probably the more fun one to watch. I didn't like the ending, but I
We
mean,
weren't supposed to like the ending.
No.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is this: when Cena don't do shit with that title for the rest of the year,
Oh no, he got.
y'all
Oh damn
cry.
well, damn well he not.
They'll cry
No one.
about it, and my ass is gonna be sitting over here, hopefully working a good job, or at least drinking, and going, have the wrestling gear you deserve.
Um.
That's just what it comes down to. Y'all wanted this, and Cena's not gonna show up to every Raw. He's not gonna show up to every SmackDown. He's not gonna show up to every PLE. So cool. The only champion we really have now is Jey Uso. You shot yourself in the damn foot. Congratulations.
If y'all aren't watching NXT, Noam Dar's back.
Damn
Back?
it! Right when I go in the fucking kitchen.
Yeah, Noam Dar's back. He's the one
Oh.
challenging Lexus King for his Heritage Cup, which thank God, because Noam was the
Yes,
only
get
one.
that back.
As outside of Frazier, no one was the only one who gave that cup that prestige that it deserves. So I hope he gets it. But Noam Dar is back and he's wrestling. He came out to a resounding reception, and he looks to be very happy being back in that ring, and he looks great. So
He was gone for like a year and a half, right?
Yeah, he's gone for a long time.
Nah. But Tiff, what did you think of
him,
WrestleMania? Which night was your favorite?
um, I enjoyed night one for a specific reason. But I loved night two because the matches were better at night two. I liked night one for the stories that it told, and especially in the triple threat. I'm a story girl. I like a story. I like when you keep me intrigued, and the way they set that triple threat up, The way they made Paul Heyman be used was ingenious. And now, when we go into Raw, which we'll explain in a minute, he's even more integral in that part. So I liked night one for that specific reason. Of course, I was ecstatic for Jey Uso and for the title match that he had. I don't think that
Tiff, you got cut off. Liking you today.
Jesus Christ.
Go on, just keep going.
We've seen them wrestle multiple times before. So it's not like, that's something that's just like, oh, well, they wrestle. It's just like they wrestled again, and even though there was a story attached to it, we've already seen it. So you're not gonna be like, yeah, it was a great match. It wasn't great, but their other matches weren't that great either. It's just, it is what it is when it comes to Jey Uso and Gunther. The point is, the story's been told. It's finished, at least for now. Yes, he fucking won. Anyways, no, Dark got that heritage go back, baby. Let's go.
That's right.
All right. So, where's the rest of
You need to go sleep, kiddo. I don't know. Is Metaphor still together?
Yeah,
they should be. There's no reason they didn't break up.
They still do the entrances and everything. They're still together. But I wish they would. I wish they would have came out there with him. But, anyways, so I liked night two because the matches were great. The women's match was amazing.
I got Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Inject that shit into my veins. That was probably one of the best women's matches I have ever seen. And even if they did like botch or anything, I couldn't tell. I could not tell. And then they show it on WWE's Instagram that Io's parents were in the audience. And Io's mom, she is a dead ringer. Harley. She is a dead ringer for her mom. Like they could have been freaking twins, man. It's wild. But like I'm so happy that I was worried for a second. I'm like, are they really gonna take this title from Io? But Io fucking had a great match with Bianca and Rhea. And now and if anything, like my friend was like, oh, I don't like it. I'm like, well, it was solidifying that she's an actual champ, dude, that she didn't win this for a fluke, that she deserved this title. Hell, she deserved the title.
I liked her retaining the title, and I picked her to retain. There was no reason to give it back to Rhea. Bianca getting the title, while it would be cool for Bianca, it also would not lend to the fact that she's got unfinished business over on SmackDown.
Yeah, she got to go deal with that. You can't just go run away, sis.
Right. And I figured she wasn't going to win, but I didn't think that she would be the one to eat the pin. I just didn't think that. But it is what it is. Shit happens. But I loved night two specifically.
At least it was Io that pinned her.
Yeah.
Definitely. Any other matches that stand out to you guys? Because I mean, we don't need to do like a run through each match here all fucking night, and I'm really not.
Yeah, like are y'all? Oh god.
The Punk and Roman match was great.
You're not even mentioning Seth.
No, I was gonna add Seth too. I was mid chew.
I like that match too. I thought it was great. Like I said, I loved it. I loved it for the story, but the physicality of it was good. It was a good match.
When I tell you, everybody woke the fuck up for that match. Like everyone was so interactive, was so in it, and then once like the turn happened, everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Like
It was
Yeah,
I liked it for that specific reason. Night two, however, was the one you're just like, yes, this was good. I didn't like. I didn't like the luchador
no, that MAGA luchador shit needs to end. Like,
Oh
why you
yeah.
having Phoenix eating his fucking first WrestleMania, and you have him eating the pin to this shit. And then you're like, oh, and then we have acquired AAA Lucha Libre. I'm like, why? So you guys can feed him the Chad Gable and just shit on. If y'all have listened to the show long enough, you know I'm a huge fan of Lucha Libre wrestling, especially when it comes to like the traditions and everything that get passed down in it. And it's one of the very few things that will legit piss me off, like when it's not treated with respect, or wrestlers. And I know they have to ask the luchadors, and the luchadors doing it, but they are like literally ripping off the luchador's mask during a fucking match. And it's not. I'm like, is that the only thing you could think of to do in this damn match? Was this? I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tiff. I'm sorry. Did we lose her again?
already
Yeah.
had.
I swear I'm not doing anything. I swear.
Okay. Um, I didn't like that match specifically for the fact that Ray Phoenix didn't even get to, perform in the battle royal for the Andre the Giant battle royal prior to that because of El Grande Americano. Then you get him in a match and then you have El Grande Americano beat him again. And it's just like, to me, it just didn't make sense. I didn't care for it. I didn't want the match to begin with.
It's better than having it with Ray, I guess.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, what is going on with her? See, we can never have a good WrestleMania show because there's always some bullshit that goes on with our audio.
Oh my gosh.
One day we will have the money for it, but we do not have it for it at this point. So if
Not
y'all
at
want
this
to
day.
donate to us, we will gladly take it. Tiff,
Oh
you
no.
might need to
Yeah,
reset your.
yeah, I was about to say you should probably just like restart.
We'll hold it down for you.
Well, this gear Roxanne has looks cute.
I didn't really care. I felt like that whole Brad Gable Phoenix thing was just added in at the last moment. And
Well, I
it's
mean, well, he wasn't supposed to be in it. It was originally supposed to be
but even that whole thing, even if it was just with him and Ray, it felt like something that was just thrown together for like, oh, because we had this match and we pointed this out when we were talking earlier today, that this was a match that happened, but we didn't have, and I know this will go into what we're going to be talking about later on. Chelsea Green didn't even make one appearance at WrestleMania, and she's the Women's United States Champion. And then you had your Women's Intercontinental Championship and a tag match, and you didn't even have them defending them titles. And it's like, it's WrestleMania. It's the one time a year where every title should be defended.
and this is what I said when everyone was fucking screaming about how we need to hurry up and have all these titles and blah blah blah. And I said no, we should slowly integrate them because we want to make sure they're actually getting like used and X, Y, and Z. And oh, lo and behold, I was right. I didn't want to be right about that, but I knew I was going to be right about that.
All right. But, here the fuck we are.
Because I'm so mad at Lyra just having. Well, she don't have the tag belts anymore. But I was so angry about that. I was like, are you kidding me?
Like,
That bitch don't even got one belt over. And
that's what I've been.
we're putting a second one on her.
I was trying to ask in the group chat earlier because, like, I know, like, it was a funny teehee moment where we were talking about, like, you and Rico were, like, crashing out because she won the IC title over Dakota. But I really want to know, and I do not want to compare her to any, like, male wrestler. Let's just keep this strictly in the women's division, okay? And to start off, I want to say I like Lyra, but I can't defend her ass anymore. Since she's won that title, can anyone tell me one, even if it's a mini feud, one feud that this woman has been in? Anybody? The silence is deafening here. So they're going to put her in a tag match with Bailey against Raquel and Liv for them titles, but they don't put a woman's IC title match on the card. Get the fuck out of here. That's some bullshit. Like Chelsea didn't even show up. Like they didn't even have anything for her. Like, you know, like the last couple Manias, she does like the cute little segment, semi-commercial things or whatever. They didn't even have her doing that this year. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like it. I guess we need to wait for Tiff to try to come back. Because I don't really want to start the conversation without her, if that makes sense. Are you still there, Nicole?
Yeah.
I
Um
just want to start the
I'm
conversation.
I'm just over it. I'm just over that fucking bird lady. I'm so sick of that man's wife.
Uh,
I'm
all right.
just over it.
We'll start it, and then when Tiff comes back dealing with her internet issues, or maybe it's her headphones. We don't know.
It's something.
So like I said, we're not going to go through every single card because we'd be here all fucking night, and I really don't want to do that. So, WrestleMania, if you're going to watch it, watch second night. First night, of course, you had Jade and Naomi, fucking the first two ever black women to have a big WrestleMania match like they did. So, you know, kudos to them. I never be mad at them because they did fucking awesome. Um, Tiff, you got anything to say about anything about Mania that stood out to you, or concerns, questions before we get into the yelling part of the show? Because I see her in here.
I am in here.
Okay. Sorry. My phone, this thing's doing something weird. But do you have anything to add about Mania, or?
I was just happy for Joe Hendry.
Oh shit, we forgot about that. That's crazy.
It's very it's very happy for him. I was glad that he got to be on set. I was glad that he got to have an entrance and a moment. And even Randy was having a good time. I was just happy for him in general. If I had to pick one moment out of Mania that I was happy for, it was Joe Hendry.
I'm happy for Joe. I'm glad that he like, people are like, oh, why are you crying about a flash in the pan wrestler? He's not. He's actually worked really hard to get there, and he fucking deserves it.
That
Yeah,
shit is just
I was
so
just glad he
crazy
was there.
to me.
I was just glad he was there, honestly.
I literally saw him at the Fourth Rope show and I was like, what the fuck? Oh,
I
I do
was
have to post it. I will be posting, everybody, I will be posting like clips and pictures of Mania once I get a time to like edit and shit like that. But Joe Hendry was in this really funny segment with The Godfather, and he wasn't trying to say like the word hose. It was very funny.
Oh,
Other than that, I think great. Night two was good. I enjoyed it, but it was Raw that shook the table per se.
It did.
Um, Monday Night Raw was an interesting bag of tricks. Is the best way to put it. It uh, it started off right away with John Cena, which to be honest, they could have cut his segment by 20 minutes.
He talked
yeah.
for a long time.
And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm like 5 minutes is long enough for him to say what he needed to say
Yeah.
because he could have cut that segment down and been like, I'm the last champion of such and such, such and such. And then Randy comes from under the ring, RKO's him. That's
Yeah, that's 2009 Orton. You guys aren't ready for that shit.
so I'm just glad that he got to have his little moment. He's boring me, but I need him to figure. I know he wants to walk away and not do anything and hold that championship. But I really am bored with John Cena. He just is boring me. You're not saying anything of substance. It doesn't matter if you're mad at us or not. To be honest, they don't care. They're just pandering to you, and you know this. You're playing into it, and we just don't care. I don't care about you taking a championship. Why? Because they're gonna make another one.
They love doing that.
They're gonna make another
They
one if
love
you
it.
take it. And
You
that
ain't doing
means that your
nothing but
title,
giving them more fucking marketing materials. They
right,
don't
and
give
your
a shit.
title will mean nothing. It
Bye.
will mean
Hunter be like, oh,
nothing.
you be like, I'm taking this home. They be like, okay, here's the tournament to crown the new. Bye.
No, and she's
You
not
think
even
you give a
lying about
fuck?
even like joking about that. That's 100% true. You know, WWE will be having financial issues, but you know they'll be like, "Oh no, we need a new belt. We need a new belt."
Like they're not good. No one cares. No one cares. And that's not even me trying to be disrespectful to him. I'm glad you got your 17th title. You're the only man in the WWE
I know Rick
history.
is
I
upset.
know he's spitting. I know he's spitting somewhere. I'm glad you got your 17. Kudos to you. Okay. Love that for you, babe. But here's the thing, like when you're gone, people are gonna remember your legacy, but that's it. This last title run you had, you should have been making the most of it. And I know you want to be a heel, but like even in your heel work, you're trash, bro. It's not about you being able to cut promos because we know you can do that. Your ring work at Mania was subpar at best. And
First
I
John.
understand that you're older and you know things aren't clicking the way that they used to click. And some
No, because that was probably one of the worst Cena matches I think I've ever fucking
no,
seen.
because his match with Solo was worse. And he actually tried to work that match. So
Thought about it for a reason. I think my brain was trying to keep me from not having to experience that again.
no, it was a Saudi show. That's why you didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
explains a
It's
lot.
not you're just and I don't mean this to be rude because out of the three of us, I'm your biggest fan. I'm the one who advocates for you the most.
I
I'm
don't
the
like
one
you.
I'm the one who is down in the trenches, like, leave my Johnny boy alone. But sometimes you got to get a spade, and you're a spade. You need to be called out on your shit. I'm sorry, but you're not fun to watch in this state. You're not fun. You're sucking the life out of it, mate. And I know that's the point, but you don't understand. It makes people want
It's just not interesting to watch.
that all you needed to say. And you know what it reminds me of? I said this yesterday, but it reminds me of an abusive relationship, more like a toxic relationship where the boyfriend breaks up with the girlfriend or vice versa. And then the person who broke up with you is stalking you. They're looking at everything you're doing. They're watching your Instagram. They're looking at everybody you hang out with. They want to know because they're constantly trying to tell you how much of a bore you were or how bad you were to them. That's what you're doing to us. You get what I mean? Like, we're not coming to your house and being like, hey, we need you to come back and wrestle. We're not doing that. You're coming in our shit. And then you're coming in here telling us that you hate us. And it's like, okay, Joe Hendry's here. What is
With his
going
WrestleMania,
on?
with his WrestleMania shirt. Actually, I need
We
to
said
go find
his
that.
name and he appeared. I believe in Joe Hendry. That is so fucking cool for him. I
He's
love
gonna
him.
crash out.
Oh, my Trick is going to. Oh, Chris. Oh, Trick is gonna crash out.
He gonna crash out. He's about to
He
crash
is
out.
not having a great time.
Because every time he get ready to go up against over 1-on-1, somebody come in and take him out.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Well, I mean, I'm just tired. I'm just tired, John. So I don't know what to tell you, but it looks like WWE is gonna make your ass wrestle with this title, which do something, because him having a championship and just walking around with it because he wants to be the last guy, that's his fucking business.
I was in the trenches today because there were people who were like, oh, this is Cena's last go around. He deserves everything because of all he's been through. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, and what exactly was Kurt Angle? Was he fucking chopped liver or some shit? Like, if anyone deserved a send off like this, it was Kurt, because the man, like, really, we could have lost him. And his final match, and this is no shade toward Baron or Tom, excuse me. I don't want to try to call them their WWE names once they're not part of WWE anymore. But, and this is no offense to Tom, but all Angle got was a 5 minute, not even that, retirement match against Corbin at WrestleMania. He didn't have a year-long thing going on. He didn't have a pay-per-view named after his little first appearance or whatever. And I get it. It's John Cena, but, like, where in this generation do we need Cena? And now, you still got The Rock running around here somewhere, and people are pissed because Rock didn't show up to WrestleMania. But I'm like, do we really want him here, though? That motherfucker's 16 hours late to his own movie sets. Are we surprised that he didn't show up to WrestleMania? Like, come the fuck on. I don't know. And then, they're like, oh, we need to have Cena versus The Rock one more time. I said, no, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we do not. Okay? Like, miss me with that bullshit. I do not want to see Rock versus John Cena in 2025 when we got plenty of other guys in that back locker room who can't even get time on anything. But, we'll give Cena and them whatever they fucking want. Like, no, that's bullshit, and we all fucking know it. Come on.
These Mania shirts are kind of ugly.
Mhm.
Now that I'm looking at them, like, I don't. These Cactus Jack. I'm so mad about the Cactus Jack store. Actually, I'm just gonna buy this on the website. I really want this hoodie, but it's $140, and
$140 for a fucking hoodie?
I know, but it looks so good though. It's the Cactus Jack WrestleMania hoodie.
I'm not buying that. Fuck that nigga. I'm not buying it.
I know. Oh my god, I look so good. Cause I can wear that with like regular. I can like wear that out. And that's always like a big factor with me with like wrestling stuff now. I have to, especially like a lot of the merch, like I have to be able to like wear it out now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not they both.
Joe Hendry all over the damn place.
The man keeps getting paid though.
Trick, I love you. You really need to go to the back of the line. Like, it's enough.
This is funny. I don't care. It's hilarious.
Like, I don't know.
Like,
Um.
enough is
So
enough.
yeah, I mean, you've been a 2-time NXT champion, bro. Like it's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
So, Nicole, you got anything to say about Cena before we move on?
No, I never have anything to say about that man.
Fine by me. Moving into the tag team titles, women's tag team championships. Lyra and Becky dropped the titles today. I mean, yesterday. And then today, they beat Gigi and Tatum for the titles. So they kept them.
So, the real issue that a lot of people are having about this is that, first of all, they should have just kept the damn. Let's just get to the point of it without pussyfooting this shit around, okay? A lot of people are pissed because Becky Lynch showed up on WrestleMania. Bailey got jumped, and she got taken out. Lyra needed a partner. She got a hold of Becky, and everybody was like, "Oh, great, Becky's back. Cool. Okay." So then Monday night comes around. They have a rematch between Lyra and Becky versus Liv and Raquel, and they fucking win back the title only for okay, I'm confusing myself. Only for Becky to turn on Lyra. Now the
Yes.
whole okay, I'm trying to make sure because see when I have to deal with bullshit with my wrestling, it's a lot. Okay. But yeah, it's so Becky. So everyone is mad because Becky. Well, no, people with brains, excuse me, are mad because Becky is back and now she had another title. We're upset with Lyra. There's a lot of bullshit going on within the women's division, and after last night's Raw and this year's WrestleMania, I think a lot of people are realizing it, but they're not realizing it in the right way, if that makes sense.
I was upset because you brought Becky back, gave her a standing ovation, but you booed the fuck out of Charlotte. And Becky did worse than what Charlotte did. Charlotte came back, got a title shot. Charlotte put Tiffany over.
She did. She did, but no one wants to fucking say it.
She put her over. Then the next night, Becky shows up for the second time in Las Vegas. This is the second time. Okay, remember that. Takes the titles off of Liv and Raquel. Fair, whatever. Liv been running around for months telling everybody how she retired the girl. So what the fuck ever. Only for you to go to Monday Night Raw and then lose the titles. You beat up Lyra, which I don't know why, because more than likely you the one who beat up Bailey in the first fucking place. So, whatever. You beat up Lyra, and then the fans are cheering it. They're like, yeah, keep going. Do it again. Do it again. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought y'all didn't want your new talent to be beat.
Girl, they don't know what they want. That's the problem. They'll say they want new shit, but then they'll still won't be like, oh, we want the old stuff.
Nah. Nah, you ain't gonna double talk me and do that kind of stupid shit because what I got when I posted the shit on my pages on both TikTok and on Instagram was an influx of you incels that sit in your house and piss in Mountain Dew bottles while you playing fucking World of Warcraft, talking stupid shit about Charlotte, her marriage, her body, and everything else, but you cheering fucking Becky. And she's doing the same thing. Then I hear shit like, oh, well, it's different. Tell me how the fuck is different. How is it different?
Because I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Charlotte Flair was shoved down our throats. And I'll be the first one to say I was definitely one of those people leading the charge. But here's the thing. I grew up and I realized after she came out and did that interview, the women do not have as much control as we think they do back in that locker room. And a lot of that was Vince's fault because instead of wanting to give people shots and chances, he, like Janae said this a long time ago, in case of emergency, break glass for Charlotte Flair, which isn't really fair to Charlotte and it wasn't fair to the girls in the back. Because Charlotte would be like, Charlotte was begging to have matches with Naomi. She's like, please let me have this. And they're like, no. And you're like, just like, what the fuck? But like, I don't know, because I don't know what it is with Becky that everyone is so quick to jump her, but at the same time, in the same breath, they'll be the first ones calling her fucking Becky Hogan and fucking oh, that doesn't work for me, brother, like putting all that fucking memes on there. But oh, am I wrong?
Jesus.
Wrong. They make memes out of that shit. They
No, I just can't. I'm just like picturing her in that shitty accent, like, oh, that doesn't work for me, brother.
I can't with her.
Oh my God, Nicole, why?
I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it is.
And people will be online saying that shit, but then they'll jump and be like, "Oh, she beat up Lyra," because nobody likes Lyra, and it's just
Not
like,
straight messing up the kid.
I
Okay,
told
fine.
you
You
he
gotta
was
send
gonna
him
crash
home.
out. I told you.
He's doing too much.
I knew
He
it.
need to
I
go
knew
home.
it. I
I
knew
don't
it.
I don't
They're
know what
brand
the
new cameras.
They done blacked them out. They done blacked them out.
fuck them up. No,
I can't see shit.
I don't know what the deal is. And then the thing is just also like, why am I stuck here? But like everyone talking shit about Charlotte about how she looks and she don't have a ring, and I'm just like, y'all even look up why her marriages weren't the best? The first guy is because she was like super young, like 18, 19 years old. I think one of her husbands cheated on her. No, okay. You want to know like weird game of separation? The guy who she got I think one of her husbands got into a fight or something like that. And like come to find out the woman that she was cheating on him with was Drew McIntyre's wife at the time. Have y'all seen that shit? I take that as a no.
I'm sick of that girl.
I
Like I was
mean,
saying over.
people just want to shit on Charlotte for like the dumbest fucking things, and it's just like, why? Because she has the title, and again, it's something that she couldn't have fucking she doesn't have any fucking control over. But God for fucking bid, like I don't know. It's the misogyny for me. Like, you guys will shit on Charlotte's looks, but you won't say anything about Becky's no blend fucking edges. You'll just be like, ah, yes, queen, yes, our Irish last kiss kicker, blah, 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 blah. And if we're going to keep the misogyny at 100, if you guys are saying where Charlotte is right now is because of who her dad is, then y'all need to keep that same pace when you say Becky is in the position that she's in now, taking people's spots by who she's fucking married to right now. Let's be 100% fucking real on that shit. So don't get the misogyny twisted. If you're gonna say one thing, you need to say the other. Okay? Little bastards. Take a shower. Actually touch a woman.
I just, my big issue with the whole thing is that so many people called Charlotte out of her name, called her all sorts of horrible things, made horrible comments about her appearance, her relationships, X, Y, and Z's, like drove her by her name. Because how dare her get even 3 feet within their glorified fucking blow up doll? And I use that term very lovingly before everyone starts. And she literally, and she lost, and whatever. You should be fucking happy. Becky comes back. Bailey is not injured.
Nope.
She's not injured. So she was taken out so Becky could come back, take her spot, win the belts, only to drop them, and then her have a heel turn just for her to turn on, have a story with Lyra that it makes sense that she turns on her and she's going to take that fucking belt off of that damn lady. We could
And
have
it's
gotten there so many other different ways.
Yeah, like you could have
Like
just had.
Becky was that motherfucking busy for the past 2 weeks that she couldn't show up and did that in that amount of time without putting her randomly in the tag division as a singles mid card champion.
Now, from
mm-hmm.
what they said
And
through
again, Lyra still
Fightful,
hasn't done anything with that damn title.
Nothing.
what they said on Fightful, they said that
Like, give me a fucking break. Tiff, what do you got to say about it? Because I know you were kind of going off about it earlier that this was like the one thing kind of making you mad.
can y'all hear me?
Unless her internet.
Yeah, I can hear you. You were trying to say something about Fightful.
Can you hear me?
I'm back. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Kevin said that you have to open that.
I don't know what's going on. Because, like at one point, because we're recording this on StreamYard, it'll just like pause itself and I have to push play. It's really weird.
If you can't, then I'll get AJ to do it.
I'm not gonna be able to open it with my nails.
Okay, can you ask him to open it when he come home?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fightful said the reason that she didn't come back earlier was that she and WWE Creative could not come to an agreement on the direction they wanted to go. So, like we have been telling y'all before, there are decisions that are being made that are outside of some of the wrestlers' control, but Triple H is not like um for Becky, she essentially didn't like some of the pitches that she got from what I understand. And y'all can, this is just speculation, so take it or leave it as far as I'm concerned. But given what we've seen, I'm tending to lean towards that is exactly what happened. That she didn't like the directions they came up with. The surprise was a better thing for her. And that's similar to what Vince did with her and Becky a few years ago at SummerSlam. I'm gonna say something, and some of y'all are probably not gonna like it. Y'all want to believe wholeheartedly that Charlotte is the villain in that story with her, and I don't think that she is. I really don't.
I'm beginning to think that too, honestly. Because that whole kerfuffle, what was that, a couple years ago? when they were doing that. Nah, some didn't sit right with me on that. Ooh, Rika, what do you think of the
What?
whole Charlotte discourse that she's having?
Oh gosh.
Mhm.
I just think, first of all, a lot of the discourse is tired. We've heard it all before. And quite frankly, I've been saying that it's like both sides of what it could be, whether it's Charlotte isn't the villain that y'all claim her to be, and Becky's been the one politicking that I've been saying, but also it's like the flip side of that of like if this wasn't something that they like pushed for and Becky really didn't have a say, just like Charlotte doesn't have as much of a say, that's also something that I've been screaming for like years at this point, that the women just don't have the same creative liberties that a lot of the men do, even though we're supposed to be in this era where it's supposed to be different and equal. It's very obvious that a lot of the like top female talent just doesn't have a say in their booking. Because I mean, like Roman, Seth, Andy, and Punk, and a bunch of other like top, even Jay. A lot of them don't like. They have the ability of to be like, I don't want to do that, and that's it. It doesn't happen. Whereas Charlotte and Becky have both. They have to like the one thing that I've always said when Becky was gone is that you could tell Becky was gone because she was one of the few people that was actually like pushing for shit, like her whole NXT run with the belt, and she was constantly fighting for that and like having to push for the women back there. And then as soon as she left, everything kind of went to shit for the women. Not like, and it's like they're getting time, yes, but it's like Becky was pushing for the women in the undercard, like she pushed for Zaya and for Indy and for Tegan, all three of which are gone now. And it's like, and what Bailey said on Chris Van Vliet's podcast too, of like how she was like, like she doesn't bust down the door and say, I'm not doing this. I'm not fighting for this. Like Bailey's always been like the team player, and that's why she feels like she's not in the same league as Charlotte or Becky because they have more comfort of fighting, but it still sounds like there is a fight to be had back there.
Mhm.
Whereas again, we're not the male equivalents of them. Because obviously, like, a lot of people don't have a say in their booking, but like the higher up you get in the card, the more creative liberties you're supposed to get. And it's very clear that with the women, that is not the case. So again, with this whole like discourse that's surrounding both Charlotte and Becky, it's like again, I don't know why it's like every few years Charlotte comes up and it's always like, oh, she's this, she's that, and everyone drags her for everything they can come to. And it's like people saying like, oh, you don't even have your real face and da 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 da, even though Tiffany Stratton also doesn't have her same face either.
Or her same
Hello.
tit.
I'm like, and also Hello. I'm like, Yeah, we can hear you.
Mm.
like y'all don't have the like. It's like again, it's like for Charlotte, it's always like, oh well, she has gotten this done and she's done this and this has happened to her and da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, but that can be said for a lot of women. And I don't. It's like this weird favoritism because it's like y'all don't want Charlotte, but y'all want Tiffany. Y'all will drag Charlotte, but you won't say shit about Becky doing the same. It's like this weird. It's like it's not even like a nepo baby. It's like y'all just don't like her. And I'm like, and it's like you guys, it's giving. I don't have anything else to talk about, so I'm gonna go for the low hanging fruit because you can't come for her work ethic, you can't come for her matches, you can't come for her legacy. So you have to default to like, well, she's been divorced 3 times. Oh, she's gotten her face done a bunch of times. She's gotten her boobs done a bunch of times. It's like, and then you go after like, oh well, she's doing like, and again, Charlotte lost,
She lost.
lost. So like, what is the argument here?
Before she had the match, it wasn't that she was gonna lose. It was that they thought she was gonna win, and that she didn't deserve to win the Royal Rumble. Their solution was, oh well, she could have just won Chamber, and I was like, well, you would have been pissed about that too, because I'm like, it's not fair because Becky's done it twice as hard as Charlotte has. She took away Bailey's opportunity to be at Mania. Her and Trish Stratus. Is it not the same fucking thing? Trish came to the save for Bay for
Hello.
Oh, okay. So you can't hear her either.
No. Tiff, we can't hear you.
She probably popping off right now, and she don't even.
Yeah.
We can't.
Tiff, we can't hear you.
Tiffy, our president Tiffy, like. Oh, we lost her fully.
Chipotle, JK, trash.
But no, it's just very upsetting because I'm like, because the argument with like Charlotte winning the Rumble also falls apart because again, it always to me it's like everyone's mad about the wrong thing.
Yes, and it's selective outrage.
It is selective outrage because I'm like, you can say like, oh, Charlotte shouldn't have won the Rumble, but like, who else was gonna win the Rumble? Like, and I'm like, and it's like the same issue that I had with Elimination Chamber. It's like, yeah, I can be mad that like I didn't like the lineup, but I was like, also, it's like no one else is built up enough, and that's not on the women. That's on the booking. That's on creative. Why haven't you taken the time to flesh out your divisions like you said you were going to? Because if we can give the smoke to Tony Khan for all the promises he made and broke, I feel like we should give the same to like Hunter and them.
Mm-hmm. And that's Tiff. I'm sorry, we keep your Wi-Fi is kind of fucking up for you. I don't know.
Not
But
Survivor Series being all the way in San Diego. That is crazy.
It is in San Diego this
Yes,
year.
that is far.
But I
Ain't gonna
don't.
catch me there.
It's the whole like just if we're gonna talk about people who don't have their real faces anymore, how come Cora Jade don't get the smoke? But she's an internet darling though, apparently.
Cause she's new, and I don't fall. And this is my thing. I don't care about how you look. I might tell a joke. I batshit bonkers. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. That's not even the point. Like, I just don't like how they beat that lady down and then they act as if she's just supposed to be okay with that shit. Like, I would be broken if everything in my life is getting fucked up. My knee is messed up. My husband and I are no longer together. My marriage is crumbling. That's my third marriage. I thought this was going to be my end all be all, and I have to deal with that. And not only that, I come back to the one fucking place I thought I could at least have some piece of respect. And every person is in here treating me like I'm the big bad wolf. Like I'm the worst thing to come into this company. That's gotta feel like hell. It's gotta feel like bricks on your chest. Nobody is talking about that. But y'all then on the other side, because this is not like Charlotte's. You, 'Cause this is not like Charlotte's. 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 'Cause this is not like Charlotte Becky was just at home. She was just
Filming
at
that
home.
was she in that movie that MJF is in, that
I
Happy
guess.
Gilmore?
I guess.
Hopefully he don't get cut for that.
Becky was at home. I guess she did the movie and doing improv, classes and shit on stage. That's what she was doing. And she can come back and not have no smoke. Except for the little shit y'all give her. Y'all ain't going after her family. Y'all not going after the way she look. Y'all not doing that.
Because
Y'all not
Becky's
treating
face
that
does look a bit different.
well. Y'all not treating that lady like she the bane of your existence in wrestling. When if you gonna be real, then let's call a spade. Because for 2 fucking years, her ass that WWE has. I'm just saying, if we're going to go there, then let's go there. And don't give me no bullshit about, oh, that's different. You're comparing apples to oranges. No, I'm not. You got 2 of the top bitches in this company. One of them gets treated like dog shit because y'all don't like the fact that she's Ric Flair's daughter and she's just naturally gifted at what she does and you're mad about it. The other one had a harder road. So you respect her because you resonate with her. It's her relatability that makes her be invincible. And I don't like that shit. Because both of them can do the same thing. And both of them have done it. But y'all don't have the same smoke for both of them. And you ain't got enough balls to tell the truth because you don't want to talk about your favorite. These people don't run my life and don't change nothing about what I got going on. When this TV go off, they continue to live their life. If I see some fuck shit, I'm calling it fuck shit. Because that's what it is. And I don't like it. And y'all gonna hear it until I get tired of talking about it. Because I'm sick of y'all bullshit. Especially the way y'all attacked me on my socials when I was talking about y'all owe Charlotte an apology. And y'all still do. Until y'all do Becky the way y'all did her. Bring up Becky shit.
Mm-hmm. It's only fair.
Until y'all do her the way y'all did, until y'all do her the way y'all did Charlotte, I'm gonna be on your ass because you're wrong. Now, when Becky take this title off of Lyra, because the situation is different, Lyra not going over on Becky. She just not. And if Triple H does do it, I'll be a woman to come back and say, you know what, I was wrong. But the way this is working, and I guarantee you that's one of the reasons why she brought her ass back. Ooh, new title. Can add that to my collection. Meanwhile, Charlotte could have gotten that extra championship and padded her resume and got a little closer to that 17. But she didn't. And y'all sit up there talking all that bullshit about her throwing her weight around backstage. If she really was back there throwing her weight around, trying to take people down, that hoe would be champion right now. Because I for damn sure would have done it. With no qualms and wouldn't have had no issues. I'd have took Tiffany's teeth and that damn championship. You ain't finna talk about my damn marriage and my life on TV, and your ass has still got Similac on your breath, wet behind the ears, ain't had a man longer than 5 minutes, and you gonna tell me that I'm gonna be old and alone? Bitch, you ain't lived long enough to tell me that.
Funny thing I think is just like everyone wants to mention that Charlotte has daddy issues, and I've said this like as us talking, but like no one wants to mention the really fucking big age gap between her and fucking Kaiser.
I don't care about that. They can be together. That's her business. I'm talking about the reality. Life is gonna life, and you gonna go through some shit too. And you gonna go through some shit and feel like you gonna be alone forever too. My problem is y'all was okay with that promo, and then y'all had the audacity to say the girl was being bullied. No, baby. Charlotte didn't bully her. Charlotte was telling her the truth. There's a hierarchy here. You've been given your status and you've been pushed through. You did win your championship by thank you. You did win your championship by cash in. That's how you got it. You haven't defended it more than a couple times. The title defense that you had with Charlotte.
She got mad because she heard the truth.
She didn't like it.
That's all I'm saying. But we ain't gonna stay here. We gonna push forward because y'all gonna have y'all issues with what I'm saying, and I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't care. All I'm saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're gonna give Charlotte this level of nuclear bullshit y'all been giving her since she set foot back in the E, then I expect double on Becky's ass. Especially this is the second time her ass done swooped in and stole somebody else's thunder and time. Because not only did she screw Carmella, but she took that shit from Bianca. And it took her almost a year to get the shit back. Matter of fact, it did take her a year to get it
did
back.
take her a year to get it back.
Yes, it did.
So please.
I don't.
He came back during the segment with New Day and Alpha Academy. I don't give a damn. I really didn't care. I'm just being fair. I didn't care that he came back. It didn't matter to me that he was coming back. I heard he got re-signed. Good for him. I don't think I would have re-signed him. I don't think that they needed him. But he's there.
I'll just say this about Rusev. I think he looks great. I mean, like, just seeing, I think that's what I was more shocked about last night was seeing how great that he looked, like total body transformation. But
It was just so random.
That's why, like, the pop that he got, I was like, y'all this hyped over Rusev? Like, no shade, but I'm like, Rusev is what got y'all this hype?
They love Rusev over there.
I don't know why.
They can't wait to start saying fucking Rusev Day, my god.
well, since we're talking about the women, because I really don't want to talk about Rusev. But since we're talking about the women, Bailey went on to Chris Van Vliet's show and talked about how she doesn't feel that she is seen the same way that her other contemporaries in the Four Horsewomen are seen or how they're celebrated. And you can see kind of like the disappointment in her. And that like low key made me upset because Bailey has always been, I'm going to say, out of the Four Horsewomen, Bailey is really the workhorse. She will do what needs to be done. She'll, I mean, her and Mercedes fucking pounded down that door to get them women tag titles. Like they wanted them to mean something, And you could just see where she was beating herself up, and then she's just like, I don't know what my future holds. I don't know, blah 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 blah. And it's just like you're seeing her like in real time. Like it's not Bailey, this is Pamela, and she's really beating herself up because it just seems like she doesn't think she's as good as the other three. When in reality, she's probably better than the three of them combined. So I didn't like the fact that I almost saw Bailey cry during that interview. Like that really upset me. I don't like that she, out of everybody, has been given the shaft for like so many damn things. When she was the one, hell, she had me rooting for Mercedes when they were during COVID time. when they were having that steel cage, I actually rooted for Sasha at one point in my life because I didn't like her as a heel.
Damn.
Like, and like I joke around with it, but it's like the day Bailey showed up with like the ponytails chopped off, and she had that new look, and we were going crazy. Like 2 days later, I went and got my hair cut just like it too. But like I didn't like how she was getting. She feels like she's not good enough, and or at least that's what I got that feeling from. And it's just like I want to tell her, be like, baby, you are better than the other three women you ran with. And then people were like, well, she's the last one to be called up. She can't be that great. Who do you think was fucking holding down NXT until the new girls could get their shit together? Am I wrong?
No.
No, but she also was putting Oscar over.
Hmm?
Bailey has a lot that a lot of people seem to forget. And that happens when wrestling is moving as quickly as it is, and so much happens in one wrestling year. You forget it was Bailey that was with Sasha Banks, and they were the ones who set the tone for what the four horsewomen could be. Without Bailey, there is no the man Becky, and there is no Charlotte Flair without her. So y'all can say all that stupid shit all you want to. The reality is she is the most technically sound of all four of those women. She just is.
We've been saying that for years now.
And she definitely deserves the right to be in the Bailey gonna have to start throwing her weight around. I would have said no. I'm not sacrificing my mania moment for Becky because she wouldn't do the same for me. So no. Find somebody else. Get somebody else to do it.
Nicole, what do you think?
It just makes me so sad. I said this earlier. All that tag team matches. I'm happy for Hank and Tank. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very sad that she feels that way because to me, her and um Charlotte are like the horsewoman to me in terms of, yes, Becky is Becky, and I will never take that away from her, regardless of how fucking annoyed I am with her. Um, but I always say like Bailey is the steamboat, and she's unfortunately one of those people. She is not going to get her flowers till she's done, as she should. But she is so influential. Like her and Mercedes literally helped inspire a new generation of women.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them is legitimately in the ring right now, who used to be a former NXT Women's Champion. Like I don't think, and it makes me sad because I don't think she understands how her impact, because there are so many women on either roster and
Yep.
on the indies. Literally everywhere you go, there is at least a couple, if not a full handful of women who name her and name that match
Yep.
of why they do what they do. Jada Stone, who was wrestling up and down everywhere and anywhere. I saw her wrestle at Shea. She's big Bailey fan. Like obvious, like I said, I mentioned like Roxanne, and it's like, oh, I hate that for her. But you're great, Bailey. You will always be great.
Shoot.
Is this that same gear she wore yesterday?
Um,
It looks like it, but it doesn't look like it at the same time. I think it's different 'cause I don't remember
I
being
think it's
that.
different too.
Yeah, I don't. I remember it being blue, but it wasn't like it didn't look like that.
Excuse me.
Them some tiny bitches. Oh, speaking of like of the many people I saw, a lot of people are very small.
Like, how small we talking here? Like,
Like
teeny.
I saw Jay Uso and I was like, "You're not that tall." Love you though. Same with, and I hate to say this because he seemed like a very nice guy. Chris Van Vliet is one. I
Love.
thought he was gonna be taller than what he is. Um,
Yeah.
I saw that girl that they let back at TNA. She is very small, like very small. I was like shocked. I was like, "That's a tiny bitch." Um, who else? Almost is as big as you think he is,
I
and
imagine it would be.
if not taller, because I was like, man, you really are that big. Saw JoJo. JoJo is so beautiful,
Aw.
so beautiful. No wonder Bray was writing sonnets and fucking painting murals and shit over her. it's, it's not funny, but it's funny. Like I get it. Like I love that. I love that he loved her so much. I was like, this makes sense. Like this
Aw.
makes a lot of sense. Oh, makes me so sad.
No, feel sad. It's just
Um, but yeah, Jay, I was like very shocked by that. Um, I don't know what y'all folks are listing as your heights. It's not right. Whoever you think your phase, whatever heights they got listed, they're wrong. Great people though, but their heights are wrong.
great people though, but their heights are wrong.
Yes,
Well,
not everybody.
All we're just asking is that if you guys are gonna share the smoke for one person, make sure you share that smoke with like fucking everybody at this point, because now the internet's starting the rumors like, oh, Bailey could Bailey possibly be leaving WWE, and it's just like, and I'm not saying she is, but if people are gonna be like, oh, she was such a great wrestler, blah blah blah. If I see that and then I find out that you were always shitting on her, I am coming for you, like sight on scene, coming for your ass.
It's just like get it together, folks.
For real, we tired. Bad enough. This is why wrestling fans will never be taken fucking seriously.
No, definitely not, cause y'all don't know what the fuck you on. This is a different gear.
And just them like, and it's the fact that like when they was booing Lyra and they were cheering for Becky whooping her ass. I'm like, I was talking to like, even with the Cena promo when he was calling them out their name. I'm like, everyone's rooting for him now, but I'm like, it's just because wrestling fans want to be contrarian so bad. They want to
They
root for the
do. That's what pisses me off. Like you want to be smart. So like this isn't it. Like anyone who consumes, and I feel like this with anyone who consumes any types of sports, and this is coming from someone who is eventually going to work in that industry. Don't take it that motherfucking serious. You're not getting paid.
yeah.
People
Yeah.
aren't paying you. It's like you watch pro wrestling, you know how much you have to argue that fucking hobby in the first daggone place, let alone try to be a contrarian and like a fucking smart mark on top of that. Like shut the fuck up. Like I keep things very simple, and Errol was like, well, if someone's like, well, that's fake, and I'm like, well, you just watched the Marvel movie, that's fake as fuck.
I had a guy
and
do that.
and I'm like, it's literally theater with people beating each other up. I said it's MMA theater in a drag show. That's all wrestling is. This is a
I
combative
literally had
theatrical show, drag show. That's literally what wrestling is. I'm like, it's not fucking serious. It's really not.
I really need Roxanne to stop
like
going after
I
this
was
NXT
talking
bonus
to
chick.
because I had to work for a little bit on
I think
Saturday,
this is her. I think this is
and
her last hurrah.
Okay.
who
I think this is probably gonna be her last match here, or one of her last matches.
who
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
But I had this guy. I
Mm.
was working with him on Saturday. I missed Stand and Deliver, but I heard it was a really good show. And um, me and this other person was talking about it, and like he just heard it. He goes, "Oh, you're wrestling." He goes, "Oh, you're a wrestling fan?" I said, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Well, you know it's fake, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's fake, but the injuries are real. The people behind the characters are real. Like, what's the difference?" He's like, "Well, I watch Marvel movies," and I'm like, "Okay, and like that's fake." I don't know. I This is why wrestling fans we will never be taken seriously
Or
as
have
like
anything nice.
yeah, like NBA. We'll never be seen like in the same vein as like NBA fans or fucking
I
NFL
don't want
fans.
to be honest. I
Because like they need to fuck off then, because they're ruining it for the rest of us, man.
don't want to be in the same vein as an NBA or football fan. I don't want to be even close to that. I'm okay with being in this niche. I'll just be one of the only ones who has a clear understanding.
I don't know.
You're
What I just
watching
it's like we're a step above NASCAR fans. Like
bullshit.
that's
I'm higher than that. I'm not.
you know what I mean? It's just like people will be like, "Oh my god, you watch NASCAR, you blah 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 blah," and it's like, why does it matter? Like, what do I enjoy? And then the guy just wouldn't shut up about it, and I'm just like, "Sir, you got like 20 seconds before I get out of you and I lose this job." But then again, no one really likes you here, so I'm pretty sure I can get away with it. So there's that.
Well, we got one more piece to talk about. The last little bit of the show was Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins coming out there. Essentially, I guess they explained themselves. They really didn't. Seth basically in the now the wrestling industry is going to be reshaped in my image. And I was like, all right, cool.
I really his image or his whatever.
It didn't
I
go
was
so well because CM Punk came out there. He got beat up, tried to beat up Paul Heyman, but Paul Heyman pretty much, thwarted that. Then Roman came out there. Roman Superman punched Heyman. But then Seth and them had an ace in the hole with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker shows up and is now a part of their little fold. They ain't got no name or nothing for it. I guess. I don't. So I guess we are now in the year of the heels because the only person that got over in any way, shape, or form
What are they doing?
being stupid is what they're doing. They
everything
really don't.
else was heel work. Everything. And I was like, damn, this is unbalanced in the motherfucker. Oh wait, what was that?
Well,
Like she
everyone
missed something.
used enough, and then they're gonna get a whole thing of heels, and then they're gonna be like, well, we're bored. Well, shut the fuck up. What do you want?
So you had a lot going on Monday. There was Julia showed up, Stephanie showed up, Roxanne showed up, Randy showed up for John Cena. She loved pulling out somebody's arm, child. Um, you had Brian Breaker showing his true colors, and then you had Dom able to retain his titles, Becky turning on Lyra.
Um,
Did a good job this time. He really did. Cause you ain't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't see this being a good year. I mean, they got Money in the Bank coming up. They got that show in France that they're doing.
Oh,
I
Clash
don't,
at the Castle, I think.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
gonna Clash of Paris.
So I don't know what they're planning on doing, but they need to like Mania. Okay, so Mania wasn't a fucking total wash. No one's saying that. We had the good moments, we had the bad moments. It's just like every WrestleMania, not everything can be perfect, right? But like this year, because you know how we always say Mania is the one that sets up the year for the rest of the year. They better be like sip like drinking coffee made with Monster Energy drink or some shit, because they gotta do something. They gotta do something to keep the shit entertaining for this year, especially if Cena's gonna do whatever the hell he wants and we're down a title.
Well, Stephanie retained, thank God.
Guess that's something.
I mean, I don't think John Cena gonna have it as easy as he wants it. He thinks he's gonna be able to just walk away and not have no title rematch or no title defense. That's not happening. Your ass gotta wrestle. Simple as that.
Oh, there's people who are already like, oh, he don't need to wrestle. He don't need to do this. Yes, the fuck he do. If he wants that title, he needs to do it. We're not having another Brock Lesnar moment here, people. Okay, like we're not doing that again this year or ever again.
Oh God.
Sick of that shit. So I don't know.
Either way, there's a lot going on Monday Night Raw. A lot. To the point where if you wasn't focusing on one thing, you would miss the other. Okay, it was a lot going
Miss
on.
everything, child.
It was a lot going on. Now we
It
come to
was a lot. I
NXT.
was like, what is going on?
There's so much. At one point, everything was just coming at you at once, and it was never.
It's like, damn, slow down.
Yeah, I don't know. But what do you guys think so far? Is this like a good do you guys have high hopes for the rest of this year?
Yeah, 50-50. You never know. Because Hunter, I don't know. Yes, it's 50-50. I do hope Cody gets a chance to take like a decent break. I feel like he's worked hard enough. He should be able to take at least like 2 months off.
Good. Is he going to though? Probably
Probably
not.
not, but he should take some time off.
And you called it as soon as he started hugging Libby, and you're like, oh
I
shit,
saw
he's
I saw with that baby. Anytime I swear, anytime he picks her up, he's done. So the jacket looked weird. I didn't notice the mask for some reason at first. I never noticed that mask. I didn't notice that mask until literally today. Until I
Really?
saw TikTok. I don't know what I don't even think I was that high, but I missed that apparently. Um so it was something with the jacket, and then when he went to and then they showed Brandy and Liberty. I was, this is weird. And then he picked Liberty up. I said, "Oh, he's losing."
Because that's the same
So
thing that happened.
I already kind of thought he was losing anyways because he can never get away with because he went into the weekend looking strong.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my first kind of tell, but that him and Liberty, that was the nail in the coffin. I said, "Oh, he's done."
Fuck. I don't know. I'm probably gonna take my break for a while when it comes to watching wrestling. Because to be honest, none of it's really hitting with me, and unless Triple H can pull some shit out of his ass and be like, all right, so this is what's gonna happen, and this is how we're gonna do it. Until then, I don't know, because every champion you have except Jay is a heel and Lyra. That's it. Like that's all you have that are not heel champions right now. But we haven't had heel like a year of heel champions for a while, so maybe that's what he wants to do. I don't know.
All right, where are we?
Me and Nicole were just chit chat until you got back.
Final piece is Karrion Kross's promo. There's a podcast that Megan does with Sam Roberts. I don't remember if it's called Raw Talk or what it is.
It's something like that.
But he cut a promo, and this was after Mania Night 1, and essentially, I'm paraphrasing, that him and Scarlett both were like, between the two of them, they have 25 years of experience. They were not included in the Mania card. They were there. They ended up being a part of the match between Paul and Styles. Um, he first started out saying, Joe Hendry got to have his moment. Great for Joe. AJ Styles, he said all he wanted from Allen was to just get rid of Logan Paul and knock him down a peg or two because the industry depends on it. You got a social media influencer in here, wrestling, taking up time and spots, and guys like me don't get to have opportunities essentially because of this, which he is 1,000% correct. But he blamed AJ Styles for losing the match when he was also he goes from him to Joe Hendry. He says that while he respects Joe Hendry, he's happy for him. Great. He's like, in order for you to get over, you got to be a singing buffoon around here to get some respect and to get time. Love that for him. And then he goes into the powers that be, the suits who run the company. And he was just like, the best advice he ever got from Bill Goldberg was he had to be a good soldier, and he was like, I was running around here with the mask on and everything. I kept my head down, and he said, you know what happened? I got fired. I got cut. I got let go. He says being a good soldier gets you nowhere. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to say how I feel. Fuck y'all. I was like, well, okay.
Oh shit.
Scarlett was trying to tap him and say, hey, dial it back a little bit, because we still got to go work. You know what I'm saying? Is going to get fired now. He's going to get in trouble. What you understand is that everything we see is always structured. He may have gone off the rails a little bit, but WWE's fine. He did this on a WWE podcast. This is not some random podcast all over the place. This was done on purpose. Okay? This is Cross's magnum opus, I guess you could say. This is his
Yes.
opportunity. This is his introduction into the world, and this is where he's going to begin to his ascension in the WWE. You're watching it loud, live, and in color. You're going to miss it if you keep acting as if you know everything and you have everything in ducks in a row. Sometimes it's best to just watch and pay attention. Cross has slowly been making himself more and more relevant every time you see him. And in on my page, that thing has over 10,000 views, over 1,000 plus likes, countless shares. And I'm like, okay. So people really like Cross. Love that for Cross. Hopefully this will segue into some time for Scarlett as well, because she's been there long enough. She could have been champion at least once, somewhere, something. She could have been in a feud with somebody. Hopefully, now there's enough titles and shit in here spreading around. You can have some fun with Scarlett. You know, let her run rampant in that mid card division for a little while, especially if you plan on bringing up a lot of women from NXT to pad this roster some more. You got plenty of time, and you can do feuds outside of the title because we've seen how well they work in terms of Jade and Naomi. You know, work. You're aware of this. I highly recommend that you focus on making this a conscious effort to bring more people into the fold. You still got SmackDown at 3 hours. Use the 3 hours, bro, because we're tired at this point. We're tired. Okay. But this is carrying Cross's time. And he's going to start slowly but surely making his way up there.
It's just all too much. There's so much going on.
It's fine. I'm happy for Cross. I'm happy that he's finally getting his time
I am
because
too.
he deserved it. He deserves it, and so does Scarlett. And I hope it works out for both of them. I really do.
Um, if he's on
Too
here
much.
WWE TV and he's like a WWE show and he's bringing up that god awful helmet, he's I mean, let him. You guys have always wanted to say we want the Karrion Cross that everyone made a big deal about. Well, here's the Karrion Cross we all made a big fucking deal about.
He's here. And what I like about it is that it seems like he's genuinely starting to get over and connect with fans. Like I feel like every week I see more and more people start to buy into what he's doing, and I absolutely love that for him. Because like listen to like the pop that he got on Monday.
Mm-hmm. People went nuts for him, and he didn't even bother. He wasn't even out in the arena. He was on just like a
He was
backstage promo,
backstage.
and they were loud for him, like ridiculously loud. Like y'all aren't gonna like it when he starts choking out your favorites, though. Like that's one damn thing. But Arian finally getting the push that he deserves in WWE that he should have gotten the first time around. But that just goes to show you how fucking out of touch Vince was when they're like, oh, let's just dress him up like a Mad Max guy, even though it had nothing to do with his character, like ever.
Well, it looks like the new mid-year for wrestling is coming into play, and we not gonna be able to get no rest. They gonna start right out from the beginning. They ain't gonna let us sleep or nothing. So
Are they-
prepare yourselves for a lot of action.
Mm. Anything else we need to talk about tonight? Or did we cover everything? I
I
think we
think we
covered.
covered
I
everything,
think
if
we
I'm not
covered
mistaken.
everything.
And I know there'll probably be more to discussion about Becky and Bailey's interview every when Tiff goes live, because she does go live after Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. So make sure you follow Tiff. She is awesome, and I'm not just saying that because she's my best friend and one of my podcast people. Uh, but yeah,
Thank you. Sorry.
let's see what else. Also, make sure you follow Nicole for We Love Wrestling because we are keeping that going in Trey's honor because we want to. Terry put a lot of love into it, and we want to keep that love going. So make sure you follow We Love
Yeah.
Wrestling. Anybody else that we need to give shout outs to before we wrap this bad boy up?
1,000 Pound Sisters. Um, just shout out to everyone that I saw this week, like Lex, like obviously like Lovely, like everyone at Black Wrestling Podcast, Cam, Cinco, Britt, Laura, everybody, literally everybody. Yeah, that's it.
We lost Toby. We're really sorry about the connection issues we've been
Technical
having.
difficulties.
It wouldn't be a down for the count show without something going wrong.
I'm shocked it wasn't me. I had such a hard time with my phone the entire time I was in Vegas. I don't know if it was because sometimes when you go places and there's like a huge influx of people, like cell phones don't work as well.
Comic book conventions are notorious for that.
So for some reason, it happens in here in it happens here for 4th of July. If you go downtown for 4th of July, your phone doesn't work for a couple hours, or for a big chunk of that area your phone is not working.
Wow.
Oh, it's so weird. But when I was in Vegas, like especially like the Friday, I had my phone on the charger for, and I kid you not, hours. Hours, hours, hours. I had my phone on a charger literally all day. It never got more than like 83%. And then I literally end up having, and then on Thursday, it was having a hard time charge too. And I was like worried about it dying while out because, obviously I'm all the way in fucking Las Vegas. I have to Uber everywhere, especially since like our like our Airbnb was in North Vegas. We weren't even by the strip. So it was like
Oh,
a 20-minute car ride.
yeah.
So I like lived with that charging bank, and that charging bank wasn't even that fucking great, and I spent $30 on it. I'm pissed.
Then none of them work. Like I got when me and Daryl went up to that big punk show, what like last year ish. I don't remember, but like we went up there and I've got this one from Amazon. It was like, oh yeah, it's solar powered. You can leave it out in the sun. It'll give you 100%. The most, and I left it right in the middle of fucking Ohio summer sun. The most that shit ever got was like 50%, and it barely charged me and Daryl's phone. I'm like, this is bullshit. But well, I'm glad we're all both glad that you had a great time at WrestleMania because you fucking deserve it, especially after all the shit that went and happened the last time. But if you guys ever want to pay for the three of us to go to WrestleMania, I wouldn't say no to that
As long
either.
as it ain't in LA or in Vegas, I will go. I'm
I
not
will
going.
not.
No, the next one's in New Orleans. There's no telling where the next one is after that. I am going on that, and then I know I was talking to someone and they were talking about getting cuz they know like the area, like I don't want to say like they've been there before. So they were like they knew what hotels wherever that were close to the stadium, and they were talking about like getting a room block for like people that she knows.
Oh,
And I was like, perfect, because I was like, next year, and especially since like my one friend Sarah is probably going with me, I was like, I want a hotel next year.
well, just to let y'all know, a little birdie told me that there is a rumor that come 2027, WrestleMania is coming to Nashville.
No
I would go
fucking
to
way.
that because I love Nashville.
So, and
Ew.
I'm
That's
really hope
annoying.
I'm really, really hoping that for maybe me and if the financial thing will come into play for me and Tiff and all of our friends,
Ooh, that'll
we
be
can.
fun where we all go.
Yeah, I know we're gonna have to splurge to get that suite for you and AJ and everybody, but yeah,
Eh,
just if it's true, if it's true, don't hold my feet to the fire. This is just a rumor that it was supposed to be in Nashville in 2027. But I'm like, bitch, if that's the case, I got 2 years to save up for Mania.
Usually the Mania location rumors end up being right
yeah.
And
because
lame ass.
that what was that one that they were supposed to have that wherever Brock Lesnar's fun, obviously they changed that to New Orleans.
Minneapolis.
Yeah. Like people
Mm,
said that people like for when SummerSlam was going to Cleveland, they were saying that for months before it got announced
yep.
officially.
Yep. And then we found out here because they put it on the news that they gave them
The bid.
the
So they
taxes.
bid spoiled it.
Yeah. We knew about 3 weeks before they announced. We knew. And I told everybody and they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
And even
And remember they used to be like, oh, that shit's not
No,
coming to
we going
Cleveland.
to
I'm like, yes it
Cleveland.
is.
and I'm just
I
saying,
said once they get the bid, it's a wrap.
Odie, be quiet. I'm just saying, even if it's in Nashville and we can't afford to go, y'all, we can have WrestleMania at my house. So
And
I mean, I'll
honestly,
still
they'll
go to
probably have
Nashville.
pretty good and they'll probably honestly have pretty good watch parties, which next year I'm gonna stay for both nights.
Mm,
I'm gonna go to a watch party for one because there was a lot of people who went to, and it looks, I was like, even though it wasn't that nice out, there was a pool party watch party. I forgot at
ooh,
which hotel. I think it was at the Palms,
ooh,
actually. And like the
fancy.
whole setup looks so sick. So, and even like the one place that we went to for dinner, we saw on Thursday, we saw that they were having a watch party for literally everything. Were having it for both nights. They were having one for SmackDown and they were having one for Raw.
I mean, I'm not the Palms, but I can get a blow up pool and we can redneck the shit out of my house. So, but
Plus, like a
just
lot
saying
of
it.
those watch parties, unless like obviously I don't know about the one at the Palms, but those watch parties are free.
yeah, you can just go.
Yeah,
I
like you
think
could
like
like those watch party. I honestly think that pool one wasn't that. I think they had to register. I don't even think it was you had to like pay for. So if I was staying both days, like I originally wanted to, I would have went to a watch party for low key. Probably would have went to a watch party for night
Night
one
one. Yeah.
since Cinco went to a watch party for night one. So I
Yeah.
probably would have just went to that watch party.
one of my buddies went to a watch party where he's at, and it was like $5. Well, it was a big bar, and
Yeah.
it kind of like WrestleMania downstairs, and then everything else was like upstairs. So if you were here to watch WrestleMania, you had to pay like a $5 cover charge or something like that. which makes sense because like it was free to get in. Any like the actual bar was free to get in, but they were just doing that so people wouldn't like just walk downstairs and just like pop the seat because they wanted to make sure like the people who were there for Mania were there, and then everybody else was there for non-wrestling reasons. But he's like $5 at the door. They had like a fixed menu of what they were making downstairs for everybody there. They had drinks, all that kind of stuff. And he said he had a blast, and it was just a bunch of people talking,
Well,
stuff.
I got some stuff that I need to tell y'all before I get off of here. So you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, even though the internet did not want me on here today. But y'all got to listen to Nicole and Alexis all the way through, and that's the important part. So we will be back next week, hopefully. If not, I probably will do Midwest Melanin Mafia next week if I can't get them this week. But we will be back and we'll be talking about something else entirely new, and we'll probably have a comment and subscribe, and make sure that you guys are following us on our socials. Just scrolling on the bottom. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.